This is Crime Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Saturday on the Love Boat. The podcast that hunts down and tears apart shenanigans on this classic TV show.
I see an awful lot of bodies who really have nothing to be ashamed of.
When laws, morals, and behavior go rogue.
She's a student of marine biology, and I know a lot of Marines who like to study her biology.
We are there.
Saturday on the Love Boat, Julie's game to join an all-male club, but she's shocked at the things they ask her to do.
Now, from Studio 109, welcome aboard.
I think it's time you and I got to know each other better.
A man gets very lonely at sea.
Yes, I can imagine.
Oh, yes, this is Crime Cruise Love Boat Exposed.
High seas, low morals.
High seas and low morals. Over there is Charlotte Jones.
Yes.
I'm Rob Springer. And who do we have out there on our little monitor?
G'day, guys. It's producer Caleb.
PC in the house.
Oh, he is in
Is
the
he?
house. Look at that. He's got his captain's cap on.
I know.
Just ready to rock it.
Why don't we all have Captain's Cat? Why is it just Caleb?
I don't know, because I only wanted to spend $12.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that
Well, no,
makes
I'm just
sense.
kidding. Oh, well, no, I'm not kidding.
You're not
I
kidding,
I'm gonna. We needed to get to this halfway season two point before I felt we should be bestowed with sort of honorary producer Caleb Hattery.
Yeah.
There's another word for hats, haberdash. Haberdashery.
Yeah, haberdashery.
Haberdasheries used to be
Yes.
old hat stores.
Yes.
I remember those days very well.
You do remember those days?
No, I
Rob?
don't actually.
1850. Okay.
I am older, though, and the whole point of our show is from different age perspectives, from a young man around 20, from a young lady around 32.
You're
34.
funny, 45.
And
People
me,
know me.
up there in the boom 40s and thereabouts.
Yeah, you are.
We're looking at this show, The Love Boat, that I kind of grew up with. I watched as a kid. It was in the late 70s. And all this stuff happens that is very questionable. The behaviors, the moral ambiguities.
It would be canceled in a second. After the first episode, it would have been canceled.
100%.
Yeah.
True.
It would
Within
be
the first, like,
gone
5
before
minutes.
it even...
Yeah.
Hit the ground. Right.
Protest outside, everything.
We're going to watch very closely what happens on this episode. It's what we do on the show. We dissect. We dissect. And producer Caleb, for those of us just joining for this episode, he takes a hard look at each episode and he plucks out a couple of moments here, a couple moments there, things that he, as the judge, us as the jury.
He is the curator of our segments. He is the final say.
Some call him the curator of coups.
The curator.
I don't even. Oh, wait. No, that's
even know what the hell
probably
that
bad.
means,
That's
Rob.
really bad. I don't know.
What is that? I know.
Lazy
I
stuff.
bet if you went on Urban Dictionary, that means something really bad.
Oh, listen, I'm not one for the urban
Okay.
dictionary. Okay, so we're in season 2 of The Love Boat.
Yes, we are.
This episode happened on January 19th, 1979. January 19th, 1979. Long time ago. So this probably is the first show of the new year in 1979, heading towards 1980. And my God, I don't know where we're going with this episode. We've seen
Full steam
I will
ahead.
say it comes down strong. We have about like 6 minutes of footage here. And typically for our listeners, if they don't know, we have ranges from like 4 minutes, which means it's a good episode. And then anything above 4 minutes, we've got some stuff.
Yeah.
we got a lot of bad shit happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Demented?
Priest-like?
I wouldn't say priest-like, no, but a lot of assholes. Like there's a big, yeah.
Okay. I'm used to assholes.
Douchebags and assholes.
Oh, this sounds like my Friday night. Douchebags, assholes.
Right. Well, we know we've been seeing a lot of asses lately. Producer Caleb did tell us this, since we're on the subject of ass and assholes. Let's keep it on asses. Producer Caleb told us, hey, guys, I left in a couple of shots in these last few episodes because, I mean, they kind of played a part in the storyline. But he said you would be surprised at how many ass shots happen when he's sifting through the footage. A lot of times there's no reason to pull them out because they're not part of the story. When are they ever really part of the story? You know?
Yeah. Well, even it still goes on. Yeah. There's so many ass shots. There's so many like boob shots. I think it's either this episode or episode 16 that we see next week. I didn't keep it in this episode, like in the footage. But I remember just there was this lady wearing a bikini, and I don't even want to call it a bikini. It was just like two threads, and like that was it.
Okay.
It was, like I didn't keep it in, but it was just like
Panama City style is how she was dressed.
Classic TNA.
The costume department made her wear that. Interesting.
The world of Aaron Smelling. And its most hardcore form, a lot of times not on Charlie's Angels or certainly not 90210 later years, but Love Boat went against the grain of the time. It gave sort of this almost silly vaudevillian approach to comedy, badly written scripts, every week badly written scripts. Rarely any good acting, and lots of TNA. So with that said, I'm looking at a freeze frame on our screen of a woman who appears to be 60, but she's probably, as we always say,
probably 27.
She's probably 27 because of the hairstyles and all. So anything we need to know, Producer Caleb?
No, let's just jump into it.
Okay.
Here we go, folks.
But when we get to port, would you care for a personal escort?
Oh, well, that's very interesting. I'll ask my husband when he comes aboard.
Don't hesitate to call me if you need anything, anywhere, at any time. Until then, have a wonderful cruise and welcome aboard.
Wow.
So the people on the dudes on the boat are just basically throwing themselves at every woman that comes on board.
Well, Gopher had a very gentlemanly approach.
But he did grab her hand.
Oh, he did. And he groped her hand.
Yeah.
It looks like Gopher has been like initiated into like the doc and the captain's like subplot that we've kind of created
Their
in our own
secret
heads.
club.
Blood Brotherhood.
Club, yeah.
But it's just crazy to me because watching this clip is like the first scene in the episode, and they're not doing their job. They're just
they're horn dogging it up.
It's just like we see this every week, and I shouldn't be surprised, but every week I'm surprised at this. I'm disappointed.
Well, good point. There is a blood brotherhood. We've decided, we figured out, we've seen all the evidence, and we've concluded the doc and the captain have a thing going on where they pass women back and forth between each other. They set women up to go to the other or to each other. It's a whole thing, and Gopher now appears to be part of it, you're saying.
Yes, poor Gopher.
Let's see what happens next, folks.
I really liked Gopher, too.
He's likable, the most likable of them.
Dr. Gardner?
Yes, dear.
I'm Nancy Bishop. Hi.
Have we met?
No, but your picture's on the jacket of your book.
All right.
Dr. Gardner wrote The Now Marriage.
Oh, I don't believe I'm familiar with your book.
It's all about open marriage where husbands and wives agree to have other relationships.
Oh, wow. Here we go. So we are just opening up the show with this. So we have a lot of people on board that want to just...
Well said.
Yeah, right?
Why?
Well, yeah.
Everyone's in agreement.
Myself.
The Now Marriage. The Now.
Open marriage. That was Peter Marshall, who was on one of the game shows. Not the pyramid thing. I can't think of it, but the guy we just saw, he's a game show dude, host from back in the 70s. And we'll just jump in since you're...
So is this like a convention? Is he there, Caleb, to do like a talk? Or he's just a passenger? He just happens to be recognized?
On the cruise
okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if we were having a seminar on the Now Marriage or not.
I wish that's how this episode went, but no.
Okay.
Dr. and Mrs. Gardner are in cabin 350 on the promenade deck.
Well, how about that? Your cabin's right down the hall from mine.
Well, good. I've always believed in the good neighbor policy. Excusez-moi.
Wait.
I'd like to get a copy of his book.
Yeah, I'd like to read it.
So, did I'm confused. Did he say doctor and wife are in one cabin?
Yeah.
Right? So he has his wife on board with him, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, got it. And then the other woman said, "Oh, great, you're just down from me," and then gives him like the look, like, "I've read your book, I know what's up." And then he just says, "Oh, you're right. Just let's be neighborly."
Know what's up. She seems so very school teacher-ish.
It's always the one you don't assume, though, Rob. It always is. It's always the quiet ones. Yeah.
Is that something you find to be true, Producer Caleb?
I'm sure Producer Caleb finds lots of things to be true. It's always the quiet ones. Yeah.
His story.
It's always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
I'm quiet myself.
Yo, see, this is what we're seeing.
Oh boy, don't make me have to roll a commercial to blot out whatever you're about to spew next.
Itchy fingers.
I'll hold back.
Julie, Gopher, I'd like you to meet my ex-wife, the incomparable Betty Bricker.
Well, it won't be Bricker.
It's
much
Ginger
longer.
from Gilligan's Island.
I'd like you to meet the incomparable Lance Wilson, my betrothed.
And it's Lyle Wagner.
Believe me, darling, it wasn't easy to replace you, but Then Lance came along, and he's so immensely wealthy and successful. And of course, when it came to looks, there was no comparison.
Yes, I love seeing the doctor get his butt blasted.
And I love when she says, then Lance came along with this affected... It's Ginger from Gilligan's Island.
It is Ginger from
Gilligan's Island. It was only a matter of time.
I did have an issue with this scene.
Why?
So Doc introduces this lady as his ex-wife, so that's 4. But he's like really excited to introduce her to the rest of the crew. And then the second she goes, oh, well, I have a fiance now. Doc gets jealous.
Yes, he does.
He's like, okay, well, you kind of have to expect that after your 4th ex-wife, Doc.
Right.
I don't know why it's like we're meant to feel bad for the Doc, because like even the camera turns to the crew and Gopher and Julie like dang, I'm sorry, Doc, and their facial expressions. No, don't feel sorry for him.
No, I don't feel sorry for him.
Banging 3 people in 3 separate cabins right now.
Yep. And if she's the XXXX, does that mean she was the first one? Because she's not the most recent ex, right? Because you would say this is my ex.
No, she's way back,
not my
like high school.
ex, right? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for male clarification.
Doc in high school. Maybe that's
a good point.
The girlfriend from back out of college or something like that.
Then I don't feel sorry for him at all.
No, and of course I said that Ginger is from Gilligan's Island. Tina Louise is the actress's name, and her new beau is Lyle Wagner, who was one of the main leads on Linda Carter's Wonder Woman.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
And he was also like a host of, he was an announcer. Who cares? Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
That's okay. My mom does. She listens.
Wow. Okay. Look, no, your mom's a young lady. I should be, that's cool. Hey, here we're going to, hold on a second. Are we going to bring your mom into the studio?
We might bring Bessie Jones to the captain's table.
She's one of our top fans. She listens all the time.
She listens, comments, has commentary, yes. Critique.
I ran into her in a parking lot recently, and she was actually listening to our podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So she wants in.
We love our fans.
She wants in, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She says she can't recommend it to her friends, though, because of my mouth. She says I'm the only one.
But she does know that I take the beep F words out.
Because she listens,
Oh, boy, I guess it's still embarrassing to her.
Oh, right, of course.
Okay.
Put me down now.
But I like holding you. Besides, as an actor, it's helping me get into my role.
Well, just remember, it's only a role. I hired you to play my fiancé for one reason and one reason only.
Reason only.
To get Doc back.
Oh, she's out for blood.
I like this. I like that she went there with a plan to just screw Doc over.
Well, good for her. I just want to see this work.
I do too. I don't want her to go back to him. Caleb, please tell me that she doesn't fall back in love with Doc.
She's going to sleep with him.
Oh, fudge.
I don't think there's a way around it.
Plead the 5th.
Okay. That says a lot by saying.
Well, I'd like for Julie to hook up with the guy that's playing, that's the actor. Maybe we could get Julie and the actor together.
He was more of a, kind of a spokesperson, John Davidson type of a character. Bad acting on his part in that scene. He's just sort of looking all around, and the irony is he's playing an actor. Oh, there it goes.
There seem to be some very attractive people on board. We should meet them.
I'm already married to a very attractive man.
Well,
He's got a gold chain,
Besides,
unbuttoned
I have a
shirt.
confession to make. I brought my date with me.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Ernest Hemingway. We've been having an affair for years, so you see. I don't need any new affairs.
Is that your oblique way of saying you think I want to have an affair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that not the whole book you just wrote?
Did someone say gaslighting?
Do they not practice this in their marriage? I'm confused. Did he not write this book from personal experience? Is he just guessing what it's like to be in an open marriage? Because that's some bullshit right there.
I bet she's tired of it. I bet she did it.
Yeah, the scene we just saw, she was not impressed. She does not like it. She doesn't support it. So I would assume he just kind of was like, "Damn, I'm horny. Let's just write a book and see where it goes."
Okay. Yeah, I'm still like this horny woman beside them too in the cabin. I mean, she's down to clown that one.
Down to what?
Clown. She's down to clown.
Down to clown.
We'll be right back with more Love Boat Exposed. Go to loveboatexposed.com to send us a message, leave a voicemail, or learn more about the show and our team. Who knows? You might just be invited to the captain's table.
It's a pleasure to welcome you aboard. I'm speaking for my entire crew.
Have you heard of that before, Producer Caleb? Down to clown?
What?
Down to clown?
I've heard the phrase.
Shit.
Sorry, Rob.
The kids are out there saying
I
that.
know, see.
Down to clown. Well, let's see who's down to
Gotta get with it, Rob. Get with the time.
All right.
Hi, honey. Glad to see you finally got out of the cabin.
Well, I was going to go into the lounge for a drink. Look, how about you buying me a margarita? Good looking.
As a matter of fact, I already have a date for cocktails.
Oh, scumbag.
How?
I'll cancel if you want. An open marriage has to be a two-way street. I mean, there's no point.
No, that's all right. You go ahead.
Tommy.
I am so effing like, you cannot have one person in a relationship in the open part and the other person not. Right. It's like he's just cheating on her.
Yeah.
Openly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And like what boils my blood was like, she was like, "Hey, let's go on this date. Let's drink some cocktails. Let's have a fun night." And he was like, "Ooh, I know you're my wife. I know you should be my first priority." Yeah. But I have a date with this slut down the hall.
Right.
Like, dude, your wife should be your priority. Like, it's, I can cancel it anytime. That should have been your first response. Your first response should be like, "Yep, okay, let's go. Okay, cocktails."
Yeah, I just don't understand this. I don't understand the situation at all. I'm so confused.
Also, I'm going to have a side note here.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to have to say it. I am intrigued when I see producer Caleb do like the voices and the acting that he's portraying the scenes in an exaggerated way, but it's very lively.
Oh, yeah, he's very good.
It makes me want to see him on the Love Boat or some equivalent.
Yeah, we should put him in a
I would love to be on the Love Boat.
Yeah, you'd be great.
Yeah, let's make this happen.
Okay.
He was an actor.
I know.
Well, that's a whole story for down in another country.
I have a whole acting career behind me.
Booked a series regular on a popular show. He was getting ready to do it, and sometime we'll relate that story, or maybe we won't. Let's not.
Frustrating.
I hear you, man.
It's okay. I didn't know how popular it was until I moved to the States, and I found out it was one of the biggest kid shows in America, and I was the lead. I was the lead right until the last minute when they decided, you know what? That character should be a girl. So let's make it a girl.
And what's crazy is a lot of times when that happens, they will bring the first considered series regulars back for an episode or two, but you had left the country at that point. Is that right? Or did they?
Well, they didn't even reach out asking me to come back or be in a different role. They were just
bitches.
Those
left me to
bastards.
Left me to the sides.
We're going to figure this out.
Yeah, we are. We're going to send them a glitter bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Awesome.
Here it goes.
Good evening, Mrs. Gardner.
Good evening, Captain.
Wait, is he a date?
Oh my gosh. I don't like this woman.
Oh God. That's so brutally shitty.
Rob, do you want to explain what we just saw?
Yeah, I saw what appeared to be two teenagers from high school, but in fact, it was the sleazy open marriage book husband with the girl down the hall, and they're giggling and drinking champagne and having so much fun that they felt the need to do a soundtrack of a violin. And we saw the tiny violin, and we saw the wife who's been left alone.
Yes.
You know, the book author's wife sitting there, and the captain walks up and he's, "Well, what's going on there?" I could only guess where the captain's going.
Of course he is.
I'm going to imagine. All right. Well, yeah.
But I mean, like, why? But why does the wife want to torture herself and be in the same room? Like, I would just leave and go. They're on a fucking boat. There's other places to go.
That's hard.
I'd go to the spa and charge up his credit card so high he would like have a fucking seizure.
And
that's what I do.
He's screwed her over.
Yeah.
Literally flaunting this in her face. And they're married, they're husband and wife. And he's just like shitting on her.
Grab the captain and just go for it.
I'm going to guess that would happen, but it's not like the captain's surprised. But the captain's been waiting for this moment. He always is every episode. Unless the doc swoops in and takes care of this lady himself.
Yep.
I don't know. Well, I guess we will know. Just watch
Caleb
it.
knows, and he's not telling us.
No. Okay, what we're seeing is the captain's table. Is it? It's a table there in the dining room, and we see the doc and Tina Louise and Lyle Wagner, the doc and his ex-wife and Gopher. Here's where it goes.
We met at a Las Vegas gambling casino. Lance had $15,000 riding on a hand of blackjack, and he already had the dealer beat. And suddenly I walk by. Easy come, easy go, right?
Right.
Doc is sad.
It wasn't in the script.
Haven't you ever heard of an ad-lib?
haven't heard any of your stories tonight. Why don't you tell us about the time you saved the life of Howard Hughes?
What a horrible.
What? Did he?
It's just a horrible thing for Gopher. It doesn't even. Who cares about Howard Hughes?
Yeah.
How is that an interesting?
And it's not
story?
like he ended up that great. I'm not sure Doc helped him that much. Do you know what I mean?
I helped him shave down his 7-inch fingernails.
I mean, it's not like.
Well, the thing is that he
Turned his
didn't. He
life
didn't
around.
help Howard. He didn't help him at all. It
Right.
was just Gopher trying to be like, like trying to uplift Doc and trying to make Doc seem as cool as this actor, fake fiance is.
Right,
is
as the
portraying
fake
himself.
person. He's trying to be as cool as someone that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand why Gopher and the rest of the crew are trying to like help Doc in this case, because it's Doc's XXXXX whatever.
Yeah,
why?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
And Doc should not be jealous or anything.
No.
He's had like 5 other wives before her or whatever. Like it's.
But
Or
I
even
want to know
after.
why she wants to prove something. Like, why is she still thinking about him?
Good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
XXXX, like, I'm over that situation. I might want to make the X jealous, but not the XXXX.
Well, there's something
I
that's
didn't even
happening.
remember my XXX.
Right, me either. I have to go, but I have to, like, I don't know, go to a journal or something, or my phone and see who was on my calendar.
I hope the Love Boat writers follow through with what they've laid out here, and that is we're going to have Doc be taught a lesson.
I hope so.
They're
but I
not
don't know.
going
They're
to.
not going to.
We're going
He's
to end
gonna
up in a
come out-
sympathy plan at the end of the whole
He's going to come out smelling like roses.
Yeah. Hey, wouldn't it be crazy if the Doc got together with the actor that's playing her boyfriend? You know, total gay sex thing.
That'd be great.
Encouraging my husband to see that young woman. He thinks somehow it will help our marriage, and somehow he really believes in what he's doing.
She's telling this to the captain.
Maybe he does. I don't.
Whoa. Okay.
Of course he believes in what he's doing. He's living his best life.
Can we
He has
just,
a
like,
wife and all his
rewind-
side pieces. He is living his best life.
Can we just rewind time to like the opening scene when
Yes.
Doc was like, I want to read, and the captain was like, I want to read that book.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the captain's
and
trying to
also-
act like he's a good guy now. He's not a good guy.
And like the opening scene of this clip that we just watched, she was like, I've been pushing him. I've been accepting him of his open marriage. No, you've just been gaslit
Yeah, you
into
have. Yeah.
accepting
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
you did not do it. You've said time and time again, we've seen on this podcast that she is not approving of this.
Right.
And then now all of a sudden she's like, I've been letting my husband do this. No, you've just been gaslit into thinking that it's been your decision.
You've just let your husband have an affair.
And the Doc swoops in and does a double dip gaslit.
Yeah. Double dip gaslit. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's just playing it, man.
Is that like a double dog dare?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, there's Doc's ex. He ain't
Why'd
happy.
she have to bring him here?
Free country. Hey, Doc. Being divorced from Betty hasn't slowed you down up till now.
You guys. You think of me as this sophisticated, extremely charming man that all the women go wild for.
What?
When really, I'm a lonely wretch who spends his life wondering why he can't keep the love of a good woman.
Yep.
There was a time when I thought Betty and I could last forever. But then,
You started dating some blonde.
how'd you find out about that?
So was that a confession that Doc cheated on this redhead?
Of course he
And-
cheated.
Yeah.
And then that's why they broke up?
Yeah,
like,
of
is
course.
anyone shocked?
No,
No.
not shocked at all. Nope. I mean, has he ever had? I mean, obviously, he's never had a successful marriage. He's been married 4 times, 5 times. We're not even sure. We just know of 4.
I bet he had moments.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not.
You don't have to tiptoe. I'm awake.
Oh, shit, this is so
You've been crying.
sad.
No kidding. Dot, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
I knew it was going to be hard for you to control your feelings of rejection.
Oh my God!
You know I wouldn't do anything to hurt you. You agreed to all of this in the beginning.
What? I literally want to punch him in the face.
Oh, boy. Wow.
I am so poor little girl. I am so sorry that I am flaunting and screwing around on you in public in front of everyone. I am so sorry that you feel like you look like a fool.
All but
I'm
said,
so
I've
sorry.
just emptied myself with some of the best sex ever. And I gotta come back to hear you bitching and moaning?
Yeah, I'm sorry you feel rejected. No. Nope.
Wow.
I'm sorry that your husband, has just been out until 4 a.m. and now I'm finally coming in to...
No, I'd take that mother effer to the cleaners. I'd take all his book royalties, every single bit of it.
Hopefully there's some resolve.
To say I had a date.
I understand perfectly. Right now, it's very important for me to say that I have a date. You. The tour Puerto Vallarta this afternoon.
Oh, Meryl, I just feel I'm using you to get back at my husband.
Well, maybe I'm using you.
Honesty.
I'm taking advantage of a time when you're confused and upset.
That's the most honest thing that has come out of his mouth the entire season.
That was such an awful line, though. Maybe I'm using you and taking advantage
so earnestly
of
said, too. So you're right. I mean, it was
just
very...
like two adults saying, you know what, it's like Jack and Diane. We're just going to use each other. You know? I mean, we're just going to,
Well, it's like the captain's clearly not getting it either. Like she said very clearly, I do not have any feelings for you. I'm just trying to do this to make my husband jealous, try to get back at my husband.
Yep.
And
Captain
the captain's like, well, guess what? So am I.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Captain, you're missing the point.
But he's a dude, so he's hoping he can slide in. Promise.
He's being open about it, like you said.
Don't you want to know how it is with Nancy and me?
Not really.
Well, it's over.
Of course it's over.
I'm sure that pleases you.
Get off the boat.
But the point is, it was a freeing experience, personal growth. Something I can bring to enrich our marriage.
Todd, there's no marriage to enrich.
Huh?
Go.
I want a divorce.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
Woo!
Sweet mama. Very good for her.
And I love how he's all dramatic in his fluffy tuxedo shirt, and he's like, with that girl and I, it's over. You guys went on one date. You've been on the boat for one day. They always act like they have been in like serious, committed, long-term relationships on the show. It's so frustrating.
And I bring what I had in that one night with her to our marriage.
Well, it's like that dude that was gonna Julie was gonna adopt his kids after like 12 hours. They were gonna be mommy and daddy and live in Alaska and all that shit. It's just crazy.
Well, that was the last episode, and that was one of our last episodes. Yeah. Man, that was a hard one too.
I just think it's infuriating. Like when this husband was like, so you want to hear about what happened between me and this chick?
Yeah, gross.
Of course not. No.
Absolutely not.
Why would she?
No, unless I was there watching or you filmed it. And don't want to hear about it.
I mean, the guy wrote this book and they've been married for a while. I mean, at some point it would seem that she's been okay with the whole thing. And she changed her mind, as people are allowed to do, and then it's not okay, so it shouldn't be okay anymore. Mm-hmm. But it probably wasn't a surprise to her, but what seemed to be a surprise was the level he was committed to just going out and screwing around.
Oh, yeah.
And not listening to her anymore.
It's for his personal growth.
Well, I would assume that they would, like, in this universe, would have talked about it before. She would have been like, hey, I don't really, like, support this idea anymore, or I don't think that this is right for us. Because she's been very open about being against this idea of open marriage.
She has the whole time.
So I guarantee this isn't the first time it didn't just spring up randomly. And she's like, oh, actually, I'm jealous now. No, I'm sure it's been like a month-long thing. Like,
this has been years, I think. I think she's been holding on for this for years. Yeah. She just needed the confidence to be like, F you.
All right. Well, do we got one more? Maybe.
Yeah.
A final?
Two more.
Honey, can I give you a lift into town?
You mean, can you and Eleanor give me a lift?
Eleanor? No, Eleanor's leaving me.
Aw. Well, like you always say, if a marriage doesn't work out, that's the way it was meant to be. Right, Todd? Does that hurt? Well, good, because I want you to feel it, experience it. Don't suppress it.
Where did that come from?
Bye, Todd.
This is Open Marriage book author, now that he's lost his wife, going after the girl he had the one night with, and you just heard what happened.
And which was her whole point to him over on the boat? I mean, was that her whole...
No.
Oh, so she's just...
So what happened, she was like, I have feelings for you.
Right.
And Todd was like, lol, okay, cool. I have a wife. And she's like, excuse me? What do you mean? And he's like, well, it's an open marriage. This thing's not meant to last. It's meant to be me and my wife. And she's like, screw you then.
Oh, so she didn't know he was married. That's not on the back of the book flap, is it?
Wow. I mean, she knew he was an author, right?
Yeah.
And the book's about an open marriage.
Right.
So
And they're 2 doors down from each other. I don't
there's
get
something
it.
missing.
There is. She's an idiot, obviously.
Well, was that it, Producer Caleb?
That might be it.
Well, I like that the dude leaves with nothing.
that's it,
I like
that's
that.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. Good for him. He got slammed. I assume the captain slept with his wife.
What happened with
No, the captain was
Right,
like,
right.
well, I still have a shot, right? And she was like, no, I just want my husband back. That's it. And he was like, all right, fine. I'll respect that.
Good.
And
Good for him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for him.
And finally, the doc.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there?
He and his ex-wife, whatever, they have a chat, and the doc's like, where did we go wrong? And then she ends up actually falling in love with the actor,
Of
fiance
course.
guy.
Yes.
And the doc is okay with it or something. I don't know. I don't really care much about the doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, we called it. We called it to the mat. We pinned it down. We bitch slapped it. What we saw all around today. We saw gaslighting. We saw open marriages and people getting hurt. Marriages destroyed because of that behavior. We saw games of revenge that backfired on the woman and that she got together with the fake person. We saw all sorts of stuff.
All
It wasn't
sorts of
pretty. It never
shenanigans.
is.
No.
So that's it. I
All
think
right.
we've got a crazy show next week. We're just going to leave it at that. Producer Caleb, what do you tell folks out there that want to know more about our show, want to understand how to see it and feel it, hear it?
Sure, if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. We're on all of your favorite streaming platforms and YouTube. We'll see you guys all next week on The Love Boat.
We're sailing away, but we will be back with a new episode
That's right,
of
next
Crime
week.
Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Make sure to subscribe. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms. And connect with us at loveboatexposed.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but I have duties on the bridge. Good evening.